informative and contains my opinion and understanding of the subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, people. How is everyone? I know it's only one person so far. Let's let people come in. I don't know who's here right now. It's probably Truth. Truth, if it's you. Wait, I'm bringing my thing closer. Hi. Hey, lady. All right, I'm bringing my mic closer. It might just be us, Truth. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. But I figured I was coming on here and I was going to do this regardless, so I would have just called you anyway. So why don't we just do this together, and then you can help me. All right, here we go. All right, so let me go over here. I'm going to share this on my screen. So I've been putting a lot of videos up. I'm sure you guys noticed that. I still have to put up week 4, so from last week, and then I should be done with that. Well, this will be like week 5, I guess, depending on what we do. So we'll see what we're going to do. Okay. So hello, hello. All right, so one of the things that I wanted to look up real quick, so I've been looking at things like that I should be looking up. So some of the things that we did not look up was the name of, hold on, I have my handy dandy notes. Ooh, I just threw something. Okay, so Kohberger, I have like all kinds of notes here. Okay, let's see. So some of the things that we did not look up that I did want to look up. What's this one? Oh, I have the evidence log here. So I was thinking, this is another thing. I think this is the song. Let's see, is this the song? Or no, I think this is just them telling about it actually. So I'm going to start looking up. Hi, Harla. Hi, I love tacos. Come on in, whoever's here. Welcome. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to figure it out together. I find they're the best lives, the one where we all participate together. So I did notice, I looked up what were some of the Google searches. Let me open this in a new tab too, just to see. But I looked up what were the Google searches, and I'm going to look some of those things up specifically. So let's look up, here we go. Let's look up the words. Oh, I want to look up Britney Spears and the song Criminal. That was one of the things I wanted to look up, because we know that he was listening to that when he was at his parents' house in Pennsylvania. So let me just get it up for us. Google Trends. I'll stop sharing this one and share the other one. I'm going to turn my camera off for 1 second. I'm still here though. I didn't go anywhere. I want to take a drink, and I feel like it looks like funny when you drink something on camera. All right, Google Trends. Oh, where's my water? Here it goes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look up is Britney Spears song Criminal. Let me make sure I added it to the stage. Look, I'm getting used to this. All right, I'm going to go to custom time range, and I'm going to make this bigger. Oh, that's a little bit big. All right, let's make it like that big. That way people could see it on their screens, nice and clear. Okay, here we go. Let's look up the dates of, we're going to do it all the way up in December, because we know that when the FBI got there, this was on in his kitchen. So I'm wondering, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to a song, I feel like we don't have like CDs like we used to. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm not. I'm going to put 11/1 to start it out with, because what's the difference? It'll just go to the date, whatever the date may be. So let's see. All right, what did I put in here that it doesn't like? Hold on, 11/1. I think it's 01. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Hold on, let me do a full year. Oh, it's updating something, go figure. Hold on, let me close this out so it stops doing that. Close window. Okay. All right, here we go. Now is it going to do it? Let's do a full year. I don't know why it wasn't doing that. Let's do 2022. It'll give us the same results. Sorry, you guys. Hi, Texas. I'm so glad you guys hung on for a second because I thought I came over here so that I could use my Ethernet cable. And when it just went out on me, it was like, you should plug it into an Ethernet cable. It works a lot better. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not in my Ethernet cable. So that was actually my fault. I should have known better. I apologize. When I do our highlights video, I will cut all of that out so you won't have to say it. Thank you guys for hanging around though. Let me just pull up Google Translate. I can't believe that just happened. Actually, I can believe it. It happens, right? I was like, no. All right, here we go. We got Google Trends back up. I'm going to add it to the stage. And I'm going to also, after we do this, I'm going to look up, let me do one thing at a time. Explore. We're going to do the past year. Why does this keep coming up? Hold on, let me turn this off. Okay. Oh my God, stop doing that to me. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Oh my God, there we go. Okay, let's do year. Oh my gosh, I have to go out now. It's like gonna mess with me, of course. Okay, hopefully everybody's still there. I also looked up Chat GPT, just so you guys know as well. I don't know if you remember last time we did that. We were able to look that up, and that was really cool. Okay, show me the thing. Why are you not doing that? Why does this one give me a problem, you guys? It keeps telling me to sign into my iCloud, and I don't want to. Turn this off. Be done with this. All right, I don't know why that's time. Hold on, I'm going to Control Alt Delete it. Task Manager. Hold on, you guys. Hang in there 1 second. I don't know why this is doing this. The iCloud and the Apple thing keep coming up, and I'm not exactly sure why. So I'm going to end it. All right, I just ended that. Hopefully it doesn't end us. I don't think it will. All right, hopefully I just got rid of it. Whew. Okay, now let's try this again. All right. So this is for the song Criminal, just so you guys see, but this is in 2025. I want to go back a little bit. So we're not going to do the past 12 months. We're going to do custom range. And then over here, we're just going to do the full year because if we want to, we could always go back and make it shorter. So let's just do the full year, 2022 first. And let me add it to the stage. And here we go. All right, now let me make it bigger again. Okay, here we go. So it says Wordle for rising. Let's put the top, you, weather, Google, Amazon, YouTube. Okay, so these are the top searches. It's not really finding anything for, where is Britney Spears? I don't know what's happening. Here, we try this again. All right, here we go. So we have a hit on, look at this. We have a hit on May 8th to May 14th in 2022. However, we're not sure where that's coming from because we're just in the United States. So we're going to go over here. We're going to try Washington and we're going to do Idaho and Pennsylvania just to see if we get something else. Look, we don't have anything in Washington, so that's interesting, right? Let's try Idaho and see what we get there. Nope. And now let's try Pennsylvania. Wouldn't that be weird if we got something in Pennsylvania? If not, I wonder if it's the way that we put in the search term. Okay, so let's go back up since we're not getting anything with that. And instead of the word song, we're going to take that out. We're going to put in Britney Spears. We're going to do N. Would N work or no? I guess we're about to find out. And if you guys can think of things to look up, just put it in the chat and I will look it up for sure. No, you guys, I'm not getting anything. So I don't see anything with Britney Spears criminal. I'm going to take out the word and because I feel like somebody told me before that and is in a something term. Hang on. Oh, well, I guess we could expect this, right? Because she is like very well known. But let's break it down. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get anything with this because now that I think about it, I mean, she's a pop star, so why wouldn't people be listening to her? Oh, there you go, because we just did it by... All right, let's see here if we get anything with city. No, we didn't, you guys. So Washington was not a place where it was very popular. So maybe we can go by this. Let's see, Idaho. Nope. Look at that, you guys. Nothing in Idaho. All right. See, this is why you have to play around with it. I get so excited when we find something. This is why you have to play around with it because when we looked at Britney Spears criminal as a whole in the United States, we got that crazy, crazy, crazy hit. However, I then thought about it and was like, wait, Britney Spears, she's popular. Of course, there's going to be a hit for her song. And we just looked and there was, but not in Idaho and not in Washington. So I would be curious to see if Pennsylvania, because that's where he was arrested. No, nothing. Oh, yes, we do. We have a hit in Pennsylvania. All right, let's see. Where is this at? Philadelphia. That's funny. So by me. Okay, so I wouldn't say, I don't know if that's anything great. Can't play with it too much, Doc. I know, right? I know. I'm playing with it way too much. But so Texas Ranger, let me show you what I'm adding that's different from last time. We decided last time at the very end to look at ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT started giving us all this crazy stuff. So I think that's where we're going to find stuff that we didn't find yet. So with that being said, let's just skip right to that. I'm going to pull up ChatGPT on here. And then that way we're not like sticking around for like no reason anyway, right? So let's just see if we find anything. I was coming on here to do another video anyway. So I figured why not just log on and see if anybody else was interested. So let's see. All right, we're going to go to... Oh, no, wrong one. I just had that one up. Sorry. We're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to look stuff up there because that's where we started to look last time. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, you guys. So let me just add it to the stage first. Okay. All right. So let's look up this. So ChatGPT is like a game changer in my opinion, and let me tell you why. So in ChatGPT, we were able to find trends expert. However, we're going to try something else. So we're going to come over here and we're going to hit GPTs. So we're going to look for different GPTs. Just so you guys know, I am using a paid version. So like, let me just be completely transparent for work and stuff. I don't know if anybody has access to, ChatGPT, the paid version. It's like $20 a month. And I didn't get it for a while because I was like, oh, I don't know, da, da, da. Oh my God, it's worth every dollar. I promise you. So you could use it for everything from, I don't know, everything. You can use it to help you everything with your classwork. It's ridiculous. So anyway, with that being said, I have the paid version. I just want to be clear about that. We're going to look for, so last time we did Trends Expert, I'm just going to put in Google Trends again. And this time we're going to go to, all right, here we go. We have Trends Expert, Trends Analyst. So here we go. We're going to do Trends Analyst. Wait, no, hold on. Let's not do this one because that's for the market. We're going to do which one should we do? Find trends links. Oh, look at this one. Trend configure. All right, we're going to try this one actually. So we're just going to look up his name. Because you also have to remember, right? So after a while, it's like, where can you go to keep creating more content? And there's only so many things that you could do. So this is one of the things that I figured we could do. And it's actually pretty cool. So here, just based on this analyzer, it goes through the Facebook audience. So people that are on Facebook, these are the things I'm going to put here. What were popular searches in 2022? So let's just see what people were searching in 2022. Okay, I just saw, I don't know if anybody saw the YouTube logo. So it searched YouTube everything. So in here, Wordle, that's so funny, you guys, because when we were just looking at the Google trend, Wordle was the first thing that came up. So that actually makes me feel better. It makes me feel like we're actually finding good information because this has nothing to do with the Google Trends and they're finding the same things. Look at one of the things I'm noticing. We have the Jeffrey Dahmer series. So I'm actually interested in that. I forgot that that's when they started that series. And then the most searched songs. Let's see. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Britney Spears. And then the most searched recipes. I don't think we care about that. Oh, and then the queries. So things like, okay, that's like where people would write like food near me, stuff like that. Most search definitions. Oh, this is actually pretty interesting. To me, at least. Oh, Uvalde was one of the big ones. So wait, let's go back and real quick before I keep going. And I'm going to look up Jeffrey Dahmer. So let me copy this. Let's just see, because he started looking up and he was looking up Ted Bundy. We know that. And there was a few things that I have on my cell phone that you guys reminded me to look up. So let's stop screen here. We're going to present here. So how's everybody doing in the meantime? And what are some other things that you guys could think of that we could do or look up? Let me be honest with you guys. So I feel like we all haven't talked in like days. And I was like, where is everybody? Like, I haven't talked to you guys. I've been putting out videos, but I haven't really like talked to anybody. So part of the reason I came on is so that we could all like catch up too. But in doing so, I hoped, hi Ann, I hoped we could do some of this too. Hi Chloe. Hi Bullets and Bling. Oh, what a girl, Texas, Harlot. Oh my gosh, all the good people are here. Look at that. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Especially because the past couple of days, I've like been losing subscribers. I don't know what's happening. I lost like 5 of them. I was like, fun. I don't know what to tell you. I try. I know. I'm trying. So let me redo this, share my screen. And we're going to just do the compare button because we did find something in the United States. So I am interested to see where that was. We're going to do Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm going to add you to the stage while I look this up. Hold on. That way you guys aren't just staring at me. We're going to look up Ted Bundy. Another search term they said was, hold on, I have them written down from you guys. Let me look. I pay attention. So I put up, all right, here we go. So we have, oh, I know, duh. Can psychopaths behave prosocially? These are some of the things that we didn't really look into as much as I thought we should have. All right, what else was there? Oh, antisocial. That might have been one. And again, is this going to like be perfect? Absolutely not. It's just giving us stuff to look at. All right, oops, something went wrong. Go figure. So let's just refresh this. We want to get out of Philadelphia. We're going to go to, oops, I meant the United States. All right, let's do the United States. I love doing research, you guys. I'm such a nerd. So I literally would have done this regardless. All right, why is this? Web search, let's do YouTube search. That's interesting, you guys. I didn't see that one last time, so this is new. All right, we got some new information. He was listening to a remix version of Criminal. All right, so let's see what you said. So it wouldn't come up under Britney. It would come up, oh, you're so right. It would be that one that sounded like demonic. Wait, who has oral cancer? I'm sorry. I missed something here. Life is better with tacos. I'm just looking back real quick. All right, I'll read back later. But anyway, so hopefully everything's okay. Over here, you guys, let's look at this. So we do have a hit. So I did the United States in general. We have over here. And then in the meantime, I don't know if somebody could look up or if they, I don't know. How would we find out the name of that song? I don't know. But I'm looking, I have a whole bunch of stuff that you guys have that you were asking me to look up that I never even thought to look up. I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting. So over here, let's look at this first. So September 25th to October 1st of 2022, Jeffrey Dahmer was a big hit. This is, again, I like to have some of these searches as well so that we can see that this is what we would expect. The Jeffrey Dahmer series just came out. This is one of the reasons why I personally think that it's important to look up ChatGPT to ask what were the most searched things then. And I think it's good that we saw Jeffrey Dahmer because the series was on then. So now we know that in Google Trends that this is probably good information because it's also giving us a hit around that time. However, it's also giving us a hit on Ted Bundy. And then as we go, Britney Spears criminal is less than 1%. So somebody's looking it up at some point. But I do want to get the other name. Antisocial is being looked up. I don't see any can psychopaths behave prosocially. Was that the exact phrase he said? If it wasn't, someone let me know. So let's go down here and see where it's at. So the very first one is Jeffrey Dahmer. So this is showing you that the entire country is interested in Jeffrey Dahmer at this time. Again, it's probably because of that series that he was doing. So we could expect that, right? So no big deal. So let's just see now. Over here, we can always look like in Pennsylvania, about 76% comes up. So that it was pretty strong. People were pretty interested in Pennsylvania, as to 71% in Washington, and in Idaho, it was 77%. So there were different interests depending on who it was. You guys, look at what I just noticed. In Idaho, remember when I said there was a small hit on Britney Spears criminal? Look, 2%. Let's see about, look, in Washington, 2%. And then Pennsylvania, where are you? I just had you. Pennsylvania, 1%. So let's just see over here. So Jeffrey Dahmer. All right, it didn't give us anything here. I don't know why. It's saying, oops, something went wrong. So wait, let me just refresh it first. Something better not go wrong. I pay a lot of money. All right, here we go. Britney Spears criminal. So Montana, Idaho, Washington, Pennsylvania. It looks like a lot of people were looking for this. So let's see if there is enough to do it by city, even though I know that it was the other version of it. I wonder what he might have put in to find that. I would assume that maybe you would put in Britney Spears just to get, I don't know, to the rendition unless he knew the name of it. So right now we're in the United States. We have nothing for Britney Spears. Before I go any further, I'm just going to put it into Washington. And we'll do Washington and then see if we get anything here. Look at this. So we have a huge hit for Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, look at the big hit for Ted Bundy, you guys. So when I just looked at Ted Bundy in the entire United States, we saw that, hi, Cuff You. We saw, hey, Nina, how are you, Nina? I'm so glad you're here. Nina, if you could think of anything I should search, let me know. I know that we've been doing a lot with the Google Trends, but I just looked up some stuff on ChatGPT that it said to search, and they were things that we didn't search yet. Okay. Sorry, I had to take another drink. Okay. So over here with Britney Spears, you guys, we have, I don't know if you guys remember, but when we did it, when we were out in the United States, the Ted Bundy hit was like 2%. We're now at 8%. So that's almost 10%, right? That's close. I know somebody's going to be like, oh, she was stretching there. But I'm just saying for the sake of doing statistics in your head, about 10% of the hits for Ted Bundy are coming from this one state. So I think, why is that important? Because if you're looking at the country as a whole, you would expect like a 2% rate if we were looking at it evenly throughout the country and stuff like that. Although the 8% is just going by the strength of the specific thing. So wait, let's keep looking. Antisocial was looked up on November 20th to the 26th. That's a little bit creepy. Nothing was looked up, you guys, except for Ted Bundy. This is so weird. So I even noticed this when we looked up other things, like even Papa Roger, I think it was. The day of the murders, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of stuff being looked up. I don't know that there's anything to that, but all right, let's see. What's this purple one over here? Antisocial in January to January 15th. So the beginning of January of 2022. So when we break it down, we have Jeffrey Dahmer, the Britney Spears one here. I guess I could do it by city and see what we get. So for Jeffrey, see you guys, this is, oh, I know why we're on here. I don't know if anybody saw it, but on my post, I just got so excited. On my post, Reverend Donna Serafina, I don't know if anybody even knows who that is, but if you don't, you should go check her out. But she did, she posted something and I was like, oh my gosh, we need to look this up. So let me see. I'm going to see what her post was real quick. And I was like, oh my God, that is crazy. All right, here we go. So for Miss Donna, she was looking up, she said on the map that we should look up, I have it right here. We should look up, all right, here goes the post. I got it. Come on. Okay, so she said to look up Auburn Lacey. No, she said that we should be looking up for the knife. Hold on, it's going to come to me. We should be looking up, watch this. So let's get rid of Britney Spears real quick until we find that other song too. And we're going to add Wawa Wawi. Is that how you spell it? Wawa Wawi. Did I spell that wrong? Is this it? I want to make sure I'm spelling it right. So let me Google it real quick. I'm like, am I just thinking Wawa? Because I love Wawa. Park. All right, let me just look it up real quick. Okay, so it is WAWA County Park. That's crazy. All right, let's look up that park. Wawa. Okay. Do we have anything in purple? We still have Antisocial. Jeffrey Dahmer. Let me make sure. No, I didn't spell that wrong. WAWAWAI. Hold on one sec. Hi, Extreme Blonde. Okay, well, Wawawi Park, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, and it literally gives you a thing that tells you how to say it, and I'm just not getting it right. So don't make fun of me for that. I still don't see can psychopaths be prosocial. So if anybody knows if he said that a little bit differently, let me know. Because that's what I have written down. You think they have a weapon? Wait, tell us why. Did somebody say they think they have a... Oh, check my text. Nina, you're the best. I love you, Nina. Nina's coming to our rescue. Okay. Oh, she has the song. You're the best, Nina. Nina, is this the one with the guy? Let's see. Oh, I don't want to get... Oh, it is. It's called Slowed and... Hold on, I'm going to put this in. Wow. That's crazy. Hold on, maybe I could do... Oh, I didn't mean to save it. I'm going to share it. Okay, here we go. I am going to put this in the post just so I could get it up over here quicker. That is so crazy. Thank you, Nina. Nina's the best, you guys. YouTube. Ew, this song gives me the creeps. Does it give anybody else the creeps? That song is so weird. Okay. Here we go. All right, Nina, I'm going to pull it up over here. You're the best. Can psychopath behave prosocially? Can psychopath behave prosocially? Nina, I love that we help each other. Okay, so over here we're going to do edit. Can psychopath with no S behave prosocially? All right, let's look this one up. All right, let's see. Do we have anything for that? We can go down the bottom and see if we find it. Let's just go right to the yellow and see what happens. No, I don't think so. That's weird, right? But wait, we're also in Washington. Let's put it out to the United States and just see what's happening in general. Of course, something went wrong. Refresh. All right, here we go. Oh, that's weird. So when we do this, not weird, but when we do this as a whole, we do have different results, which I think is quite interesting. I guess it depends on where you're at in the country and what people are searching there. And again, remember, you guys, in order to get a trend, you have to be looking something up enough times, right? So that's how you would do that. For the Britney Spears one real quick, I'm going to take down antisocial just for 1 minute, and we're going to put in slowed and reverb. Britney. All right, hold on. Spears. Criminal. This is the worst song. Not like her original song, the one where they slow it down. Okay, so let's look over here. Britney Spears. Oh, you guys, we get a hit over here. So from October 9th to the 15th, we get a hit on Criminal. That one. And we didn't get one before. So that's actually quite strange to me. So wait a minute. Let's narrow this down a little bit, because sometimes when I narrow it down, I find that I get more hits. So let's narrow this down. I love doing this with you guys. Hi, Sirius is here. Hi, Sirius. You guys make my day. And I'm serious. I was telling them that part of me, I know that I'm like beating this thing over here. That was like a bad phrase, but anyway, you know what I mean. But I'm like, we all haven't like talked to each other all weekend, or at least I haven't talked to you guys all weekend. So I'm like, I miss everybody. I'm like, is that normal? I think it is. I hope it is. If not, I'm abnormal, so I don't care. But from October 9th to the 15th, we have a hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take out 2022. It's going to make me go out further so I can see it. Here we go. Custom range. And I'm going to change the full year to, I'm going to cut it to Let's do 7. We'll do 7/1/22 till 12, excuse me, 12/31/22. And let's see what happens. Okay, we have a hit. So right now we're in the United States. I just narrowed it down and we have different hits over here. So do you guys see that now when I narrowed it down, I'm not sure when the Jeffrey Dahmer series came out. But you'll see that like right here in September, we have, September 28th, 2022 is when I'm thinking it probably came out. So, and you see, because we have these peaks here, and then the interest slowly goes down, 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 down. So I think that that's interesting. But for the other searches, Ted Bundy, we still have 1. Do you guys see the 1? And then when we come over here, it goes up a little bit. When does it go up? Well, in October. And then in November, it's there too. So let's see when we break it down. So in the country, again, I'm not taking too much stock in this very first one when Jeffrey Dahmer, because there was a series out, right? So chances are that people were looking at this. However, you guys, what's this? Cleveland. So Cleveland was looking it up. And then a lot of people in the South were looking it up. Let's put in the regions that are, oh, look at all that. That's actually crazy, you guys. Look at that. So of all the places, it's all like in the southern states and then up the East Coast. But it looks like the middle of the country out here, out west, we're not into the Jeffrey Dahmer thing as much as the rest of us were over here. So if you're from the South or from the East Coast, we all need to get our heads checked is what this is telling us. I'm just joking, of course. So people were looking up Jeffrey Dahmer death scene. That's weird. But that's what's on the rising. What was at the top? Jeffrey Dahmer interview. So people were interested in the interview and his trial and the trailer. So that's interesting. So we know that his series came out. This is the one I'm more interested in. So this is Ted Bundy. And with Ted Bundy, look at this. So we have Albany, New York, and Bridgeport. So they're 2 huge places. Let's include this lesser areas. Okay, so look at this. We have, all right, so we have some up here, but we have a lot over here again. What do people over here do? I feel like nobody's ever in the searches over here, and I'm not making fun. I'm literally asking, like, do people just have a life in the middle of America that the rest of us are all searching the shit? I'm curious. Let me know. All right, over here for sub-region, let's try Metro. I didn't think we would get anything. So just so you guys know, if it's not in the sub-region, it's not going to be in the Metro, and then it's not going to be in the city. So that way you don't even waste your time going any further. I'm going to narrow this down to Washington. So these are all things that we have not looked up. So if you're just joining us, we have not looked these terms up, even though we've been on here a lot. These are not ones we've looked up. We've gotten hits over here. So these are very specific. You guys, look at this. So on July 22nd, 2022, we have a hit for Ted Bundy. On July 30th, we have a hit for Ted Bundy. Then on August 12th, we have a Jeffrey Dahmer hit. And August 13th, we have a really big hit for Jeffrey Dahmer, or bigger than the others. Then in September, remember when I said on the other one, September 28th is probably when it dropped? That, according to this, that's probably right. And then October 5th, you guys, I feel like October 5th came out last time a few times. If anybody remembers what October 5th was, please, please, please let me know. Okay. Then let's go down here, and we have city. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we are in Washington. So all right, so Donna was saying, if I see any of the ones that Donna said to look at, I will know it right away. So let me include the lesser areas. And look at that. So let's see what we have here. Spokane Valley, that comes out a lot, right? And we have Ted Bundy a lot there. So a lot of these hits are for Jeffrey Dahmer. I wonder what it's going to look like for Ted Bundy. So let's do city for Ted Bundy. Spokane again, you guys. So I don't see any of the ones that Donna said yet. Donna said Tacoma might have been one of the ones Donna said. She also said like, oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to look it up right now. She did say the Wawa Park, but then she also said another one. And I'm just going to look it up instead of doing all that crazy stuff. So let me just look it up. And I also have that criminal song. Wait, hold on. I'm going to put it over here and let you say it. So this is, all right, hopefully I don't get anything for this. So wait, let me just turn off the volume for 1 second because this is the beginning anyway, so it's just the sound. And let's see some of the, so this is like this is the one that was slowed down. So these are the words. He's a hustler. He's no good at all. He's a loser. He's a bum. Okay. He lies. He bluffs. He's unreliable. He's a sucker with a gun. Do you guys remember when we did his rap song, me and Dr. Schultz, who I think is going to come on Thursday, just so you guys know. Oh, Nina, I'm looking. But if you guys remember, that was one of the things that he was talking about a lot was a gun. OnlyFans, police response time. Oh, police response time is such a good one. Am I frozen still? Hopefully I'm not. Okay, I'll look this up. I'll look this all up. If anybody has anything for me to look up, just let me know. Or write it in the thing and then Truth or Nina text me and I'll just keep my phone over here just in case. I don't know if Mark the Shark's here. Okay, so real quick, just the words for this to finish this out. They say, because I think the words are pretty interesting here. Oh, that must be a long. I know you told me I should stay away. I know you said he's just a dog astray. Okay. He's a bad boy with a tainted heart, and even I know this ain't smart. He definitely had like a feeling with the song. But Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. You guys, there you go. I think he is identifying here with that criminal again. And this type of love isn't rational. It's physical. So again, you guys, here we go. So we have like a rational part of our brain, an emotional part of our brain. He's not even dealing with either one of them. He's just saying it's straight physical. So there's nothing else tied to it. But if you think about it, right, if you're in love, how could it be just physical, right? It wouldn't be, because that would be lust. It wouldn't be love. So I think it's important to note here that he's not picking up on the correct emotion that goes with the thing that he's doing right there. Okay, let me see. Let's keep going. So, Mama, please don't cry. I will be all right. Oh, that's weird too. All reason aside, I just can't deny love the guy. That's weird. Trying to light a candle. I want to hear some of the music. Oh, yeah, I remember the music to that. He's a villain. Oh, a villain. I feel like he talked about this again in his song. He's a villain by the devil's law. Didn't he say you're evil, but I'm the devil? There you go. He's a killer just for fun. Oh, I feel like I could see why he identifies with this. I'm putting on my Kohberger hat, or whoever did this, let's say. Or no, this one would be Kohberger because he was listening to this. He's a villain by, oh, it says it again. The man's a snitch and unpredictable. Huh, that's interesting. He's got no conscience. He's got none. Take notice that the two people are high here and the girl's like out of it. Oh, I know. Should have let go, but no. But I do take note in that they look really stoned or high, not even stoned. All right, let's see. Because he's a bad boy. Oh, it's that part again. Let's see. But mama, I'm in love with a criminal again. This is so telling. And his type of love isn't rational, it's physical. Again, this is so telling because he says that he says this, that he's a criminal without a record. All reason aside, and now finally, when he's listening to this, he's a real criminal if he did this. I just can't love the guy, and he's got my name tattooed on his arm. He's Lucky Charm. Oh, don't ever tattoo anybody's name on you if you haven't. If you haven't done so. I don't know why. I feel like it's bad luck. So I guess it's okay. He's with me. Oh, this is crazy. This says so much to me, you guys. I like truly believe in like the power of music. And I hear people talk, and then you hear people talk. Oh, that is so creepy. Try to make remarks, keep us apart. But I don't even hear. I don't care. Ooh, that's interesting. Is anybody else as interested as I am in these? All right, let's see this last part here. All right, where's our words? Because here we go. We got that again. Mama, please don't cry. I will be all right. All reason aside, I can't deny. Love the guy. This is creepy. Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. And this type of love isn't rational, it's physical. I think this is like, this says so much about him, actually. Mama, please don't cry. I'll be all right. So you guys, all right, I'm done with this. So stop sharing that. I'm done with that. But I think that that's interesting, right? So, oh my God, that just said so much about his relationship with his, like how he sees his mom, stuff like that. You don't see how folks say this guy's innocent. Seriously. And even if you look up Papa Rogers, not for nothing, but I thought about it today and I'm like, I'm on here doing all this Google trends and like making these shorts and these videos to like show people all the consistencies. And then I thought about it and I'm like, it literally looks like him. Like who else looks like that? Do you know what I mean? So Texas, I agree with you, right? I don't know. That was crazy. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we have. I still wanted to see what the thing said about the post about what's her name? Reverend. I wonder if she would let us look at her. She would, because she said, thank you for giving me a shout out. So Reverend Donna Serafina, if you are watching this is a shout out to you. I want to find that post you just put out because it was crazy. But she had like a little video thing. Hold on. Let's see if we have a short of hers that we could put up so I could show you guys. Let's see. No, I think we have to go back up to this. So, oh, how about that? Because I have somebody else's name in there. So Reverend Donna Serafina and the Idaho 4. Here we go. It was crazy though, you guys. They did like, this is the one. Let's see. Oh my God, my dog is so annoying. I'm going to go, not that I take that back. My dog is not annoying. This is like the love of my life. All right, let's see. So which one should I put on? Which one should I put on? The pool party. Let me show you guys real quick. And I want to see what you guys have to say about this. So let's all be very respectful, okay? So when I put this on, I want everybody to be respectful. We're going to listen to a couple minutes of Reverend Donna Serafina. She is a psychic. I know for some people, they're not really into psychics. I am totally cool with if you don't want to listen to this. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a overview of the things that she does. You guys have no idea. I mean, if some of you may know, but some of you may have absolutely no idea. Like she is so good with this. So she'll like say something and then she'll go back and she'll show you. So first she'll like do her reading, then she'll go back and she'll show you how the reading matched up to something else. So I'm just going to show you like a brief clip. Again, please everybody be respectful. And this isn't like an offense to anyone. I just want to, and then that way people that don't know who Donna Serafina is, yeah, okay, there you go. What's up, Tisa? How are you? Oh, Tisa, thank you so much. Tisa, this is for you, this live right here. Yes, so I think this is crazy. So Tisa saw it too. I know you could be an asshole. That's okay. You could be an asshole. And again, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not saying that anybody has to believe in anything. So the knife at Cranberry Creek, Cat, that's what I was looking for. So we're just going to look up one tiny little piece. I mean, this one little piece right here, I'm just going to put it on for like a few seconds so I could go run and let the dog out. And Texas, just hang in there. I'm only going to put it on for a few minutes, and then we're going to look up Cranberry Creek. That was the whole that was the reason that I was looking this up to begin with. But I do want to show you guys who she is in case somebody here does not know. And again, please, everybody be respectful.
Has come out, some of which has validated my readings. But the order of death, we'll get to that. The Dateline covered many issues, some which have been circulating for a while with rumors, some which are brand new, and some which they state as unanswered questions. If you just even put aside my readings for a minute and look at the logic of this order of death that's on Dateline and allegedly released by someone close to the investigation, they're claiming that a graduate PhD student is going to know that there's a 6'4" dude in the bedroom there on the left with his girlfriend, but that he is going to go in that floor and he's going to go upstairs because he wants to kill Maddie Mogan first. Do you know how stupid that is? It's stupid on every level. It's stupid on even a logical level. In fact, I think if you asked a sixth grader, they wouldn't even say that. I believe that Bryan believed that Dylan was downstairs. Okay, so he believed, he walked in the kitchen. I was connected to his brain. He had his knife out when he walked in the kitchen. He walked in that kitchen and he went down that left hall first and he took care of them. It's described totally. Watch it. That's what happened. I promise you.
I kind of feel like the man gets it first. Whatever door he goes in, like the first door, yeah, I got a little spirit energy okay, so he opens a door on the left and he sees the guy and his girlfriend sleeping. The guy kind of wakes up and is like, what the fuck, or whatever. And he just goes over real quick and just stabs him right in the chest, like, and then stabs his girlfriend right in the chest. Like,
oh, how weird is that,
I feel like he goes in the sliding door. Doesn't feel like they really lock it.
So the unanswered question is, how did he pick these girls?
Nina, this reminds me of you.
But it's very likely when he saw Kaylee, she reminded him of that girl who taunted him for several years in elementary school.
It feels like the one named Madison. If the one named Madison is the one that has the little rounder face, it feels like she was the target.
She says Madison here, but she means Kaylee.
Is that correct? No, I'm a real sick feeling. Sometimes they give me a really sickening feeling when I see it too, so I'm not 100% sure.
So other things that correlate that have been confirmed
again, I'm just listening
is what he did to Kaylee Goncalves. And why are they still sticking with these two girls in this twin bed when, if you look at the photos that Fox News took through the window within a day of this occurring, maybe even that first reading, I'm seeing someone stopping behind the phone pole and he's looking at the house and he has, is that Jack Showalter perhaps walking home and overseeing something? Or is this Bryan Kohberger, who these pictures of him when he's a teenager, he has red hair? Is it symbolic of now he's, he once a boy and then he goes to do these killings and now he considers himself a man because he's...
Okay, so just real quick, I'll stop it there because I don't want to lose people here that, did she ever give an opinion on how she thinks he managed to leave the sheath behind? Sounded like she said she believes he was walking through the house with it already out. Yeah, so she says that she thinks that like the knife and everything was already out. I don't know what you guys think about all this, so let me know. And again, please everybody be respectful. This is just another perspective, right? And I just think it's crazy because if anybody followed the Lori Vallow case with the kids, I just don't know how some of the things that she says could be like wrong. I don't know if that sounds crazy. It probably does, and I'm okay with that. Wait, let me see. All right, I was seeing if somebody was texting me to tell me I was crazy for this, but thank you guys for being respectful. So I just want to show you like one or two other parts.
He's done
I
these
didn't really
serial
look at
killer
which one I'm
killings.
getting.
I'm not sure. In the second reading that I just recently uploaded, it sounds like I see him walking up the street and walking from behind the phone pole. So maybe it's him and both of them. And
all right, she talks about the pictures.
The Maddie.
Oh wait, here we go. I wanted to get when she was reading.
He has fantasies about her. Like, the fantasies are of a real grotesque nature. I'll repeat them here, but then just cut them out of the video. That's going to be the last thing she sees while she's alive. Like, that's the feeling he has in his head. What happens, so he doesn't really get to do his fantasy, because I think she started to wake up or something, so he slit her throat too, just to, and then it feels like the other female, her friend, she wakes up and says something like, Maddie, are you all right? Or something. So he just goes right in there and stabs her and pushes her back into her bed or area or back into her room and slashes her throat too. And it's like he wanted to have more time. He had some fantasy about how he was going to do the Maddie.
So that's what a lot of us have said before about Maddie being the one. Hey y'all, I'm loving this Donna and Dr. Vona crossover. Hi, Bri. So see, or Bri, I don't know why I just said Bri. I just said Bri because I seen Tysa on top of it, and I just mixed both of your names together. I apologize. That's just out of like pure exhaustion, I guess. But okay, so I'm glad that people are digging this. There's more people actually joining. So I was like a little bit nervous, but just because I know that people have a lot of opinions. And again, this is just another perspective. And if you look at the things that she did with, I will tell you guys, the FBI even acknowledged her. So, and she does believe in God and she believes in Jesus and everything else. So her thing is like, can't both be real. I don't know. So Texas, don't come for me. Let's just say.
But that hasn't played out. He thinks for a second of looking for more, but he stops for a second and there's no noise. There's nobody getting up. So he just waits for a few minutes. And he's like really on a high now. He's sticky with the blood, but for him it feels good.
He ran out of time. He gave himself time. Bundy is real famous for, I don't know if it was 13 minutes or what it was, but Bundy went in that Florida sorority house and there was very fast, a certain amount of minutes, and he wanted to beat that time. This is all true. This is all facts.
You guys, that would go with the whole thing that I've said before, that everything he did, he wanted to be better at. So, and I've said right from the very beginning, and this is, again, a lot of the things that she says, I'm like, oh, well, that's the stuff that I already thought. So I always thought that he was trying to emulate Bundy. I know that his mom wrote an op-ed for Bundy. So I feel like, and he's in forensic psychology, right? So he has a master's in it and he's getting his doctorate in it. So of course he knows who Ted Bundy is. So I would think that that would be like, I don't know, malpractice or whatever if you were going to school for your doctorate degree and you already had a master's. Like, I would assume you would know who he is. So I just think that just like everything else, he wanted to be better than Bundy.
And again, I'd encourage you to go back and listen to the first reading and work your way through.
Yes,
because I'm going to be releasing more. The black hoodie was huge for me because when I described this man who is 6 feet tall, around 30, with brunette hair, wavy on top, I described him following who I called the round face girl because I didn't know her name at the time of the first reading.
Crazy.
I described him following her up the street by what felt like a downtown area. And then I described the trees that, the benches that go around the trees, that because he was following her, she sat down on the benches and he still continued to talk to her. She was not interested, but he was still trying to push himself on her. And I said he was wearing a black hoodie. So when I saw all the photos from Dateline with the black hoodie,
he definitely did.
He had more than one black hoodie. It looked like he had a collection of black hoodies. Perfect stalker gear, right? You pull that hood up, it's dark out, you're less likely to be seen.
I can tell them apart a little bit. I think it's the one that has a little rounder face. and she's doing something. So I'm just going to follow her a minute and I'll tell you. They're just showing me her, but we're walking somewhere. We're in the main street area of that little town. I'm seeing a guy talking to her, and he's quite a bit taller. I mean, she sits on a bench, or it really feels like if there's a tree, and I'm getting chills on my legs, if there's a tree
but how
that
weird is
has
this,
a bench
though?
surrounding the tree, like, you know how they put those half-round benches around?
So they did find this bench or whatever. There was like a Friendship Park or something that has these benches. And also, how weird is it that in her thing, she says that he has on a black hoodie? And I don't know. When I saw pictures of him, I didn't see him like as a hoodie type of guy. I don't know if that sounds crazy. That clearly sounds crazy. I retract that. That sounds a little bit nuts. But you know what I mean? Like he seemed, and again, this is just me being, what's the word? Stereotypical, because I'm thinking it. Meanwhile, I'm in Nike shirt. So, and I have a doctorate degree. So I don't know why I was thinking that he would always be like dressed in like, I don't know, a shirt and khakis or something. I don't know. I picture him more like a Jake from Steak Farm.
Sometimes he's taller, and because this guy seems like he has like if he was like 6 feet tall or something like that, you know, a bigger build. And she's not really interested in him because so it's not that, it doesn't feel like she knows him. It doesn't feel like she's super interested in talking to him. She's definitely not interested in going out with him. Oh, he has brown hair. In fact, he looks different than the one that got killed, but he's larger size like that. And his hair is a little bit, it might have a wave in it, and it's thick, but it's
weird, right?
And he might be a little older. Okay, I have chills about that. He's a little older. So she doesn't totally believe. She's like wondering if he really even goes to college or not or something. He's wearing a black sweatshirt or hoodie or black. Now I'm seeing the front of the house again. It's like 11.
And the black hoodie thing, for me, that's a good confirmation, because that's the same one where I said he's following the round-faced girl up the street. She's not interested. She doesn't want to talk to him. She doesn't feel afraid of him. I described him as 6 feet tall, that he was around 30 years old, that he had brunette curly hair, and he was wearing a black hoodie. Okay, literally. So when I saw those black hoodie pictures, I'm like, damn, he literally had more black hoodies. He owns multiple black hoodies. What a stalker uniform, right? Because at dark, nobody could see you put on that hood. They can't see your face. I know he liked that.
So put in the chat real quick, if you thought he was on a substance, I want to know, what substance did you think he's on? So write in the chat, what substance would you think that he's on? And again, this is just speculation. And this is just due to personal experience and stuff from what you guys have seen, you know, or studied before.
So Bryan and the black hoodies, that was pretty big for me, just because it's in my reading. Oh, on the Dateline, somebody suggested that he was having a moral push and pull while he kept driving around the block and not doing it. No, he was not. Let's clarify that. He had no moral pull about it. All right. It was cut and dry. I believe that there was still lights on and he was waiting for them to go off. That's what I believe.
And he has no remorse or anything like that. No remorse.
So we have excellent footage of.
I agree with that, you guys. If he was a psychopath, one of the things that I just put up, a video I put up, was talking about how psychopathy. I was trying to think of the word I wanted to use, antisocial, but a lot of people know this as a psychopath, things like that. So in my video, I was talking about this, and what was my point of this?
The car
that he didn't have any remorse. So somebody with psychopathy, prosocially, when he looked up, can a psychopath behave prosocial? Prosocial just is the opposite of antisocial, right? So prosocial would be something like helping somebody, doing something kind, stuff like that. The answer to that is yes. A psychopath can 100% do something prosocially. The problem is what they're doing is not really pro-society. So it looks pro-social but they're acting so that they could either manipulate you, get over on you. Well, that would be manipulate you, lie to you about something. I guess that would fall under manipulation too. So I guess this would be to manipulate you. So, or to mimic you. So a sociopath also, or a psychopath, they don't have the same feelings that you or I have. So because of that, they don't have the same experiences that you or I have. This is where we usually trip them up, is somewhere where they think they know how to act, or they think they know what to say. And then they do or say something that we all look at each other and we're like, what the, like, are they serious? I think of Chris Watts. I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you people know who Chris Watts is, but Chris Watts is also, I believe he has antisocial as well, and he's also a narcissist. He's just not the narcissist that we're used to. So we're used to like a Ted Bundy type narcissist, where Chris Watts is more of that shy narcissist. But anyway, with Chris Watts, when he does that interview on the front porch, I don't know who he thought was watching that and believing him. I don't know about you, but he did not look like he was telling the truth in the whole thing. He literally was like, I just want my kids to come home. I just miss them, like throwing chicken nuggets at me. I'm like, they've been gone for 24 hours. That is not what I would say, if, like, God forbid, but that is not what I would have said. Like, and he's like smiling and stuff. So in that video, he thinks that he's coming across to us as someone we should feel empathy for, when really he comes off to us all as, oh, damn, somebody needs to look into the dad, even though he appears to be dad of the year. All right, so let's see what else she says.
Running in and out down the street. Who knows how Dateline got that? It's very interesting. They also played the audio, the thump, and that kind of thing to get an idea of what was going on there. So we have excellent footage. And if you remember from the reading I did on 11/18, 5 days after the murders, I'm talking
5 days after the murders, we did not know who Bryan Kohberger was.
About him going around and around and parking one place and then parking another place and that kind of thing. Here, have a listen.
It feels like he drove his car there, and it feels like he parked it across the street and down 2 or 3 houses, facing away from their house, and he doesn't feel scared. He doesn't feel worried about standing out or someone seeing him, or feels like he drives a small car too. I have a tiny bit of spirit energy, not huge chills. Okay, I'm not sure if they're trying to show me he went out, parked a little farther, like up the street and around the corner.
So there was some issues circulating for a while, and those include the issues about the cell phone and where the cell phone was. So Dateline brought up the cell phone, and we do learn a little bit more about the cell phone. We learned one thing real interesting is all these calls Bryan made to someone in his family who is on the family plan. So he called a cell phone. They're all registered to his father, including his own. He either called his mother or father, and we'll maybe learn more about that in trial. That was pretty interesting. Now, another interesting thing about the cell phone and the cast agent, Nick Balance, all this has been kind of circulating and rumors, conspiracies one way or another. What I think is interesting is this is the same cast agent, FBI agent that was on the Lori Vallow case. And remember, in the Lori Vallow case, Nick Balance testified that aside from the cell towers, once they have a cell phone number, they can tell where that cell phone was to within 5 feet. So we haven't heard a lot about that yet, but we can expect, if that's true, that at this trial, they're going to be able to tell us within 5 feet of where Bryan was at any given moment. So expect that. That's my expectation. Don't you think that's...
So real quick, that's about the cell towers, but I don't want to forget about what people said about the drugs, right? So we said, let's look. Yes, Watt smiled the whole time. That was so gross. So my guess would be meth or cocaine, says Texas. Let's see. He would have, no, I disagree with you. Let me tell you why I disagree with you, Truth. So if you have antisocial personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder, anxiety is not one of the emotions that you're really driven by. It's not that you don't feel anxiety, but you don't feel anxiety the way you think that you or I would feel it. So I actually agree with Donna here. I think that Howard Bloom is really good. I mean, I'm not downing him at all. He's amazing. I think he does a great job. One of the things, though, that I do think we differ on is that he believes that Bryan goes around and around and around because he has like anxiety and he wants to know, like, you know, he's saying in his head, like, do I really want to do this type thing? And then finally he says, I want to do this, and does it. I actually disagree with that. If I put on like my psychopath hat, he was just circling around and around and around because he was waiting for them to turn the lights off. And then he might have saw the DoorDash and just waited for that. So I think if anything, he was just going around and around because he was, no, he wouldn't feel nervous, Callie. So he would just be going around and around. So the nervousness that he would feel if he did feel anxiety, it would be like before you play in your championship game, like that nervous energy like that, but not nerves like I'm so scared or I'm anxious or I'm afraid I'm going to get caught. If anything, it's like elation, like that picture, right? Think about how he feels in that picture. That's how, I mean, that picture right there, just, I don't know. I feel like I at least can feel his lack of empathy in that picture. But so first we have cocaine. Let's see what else people said. What's Crantum? I don't know what that is. I wonder if he was using again. Yeah, so Harlot, that's what we were saying. What do you think he was using? He could have been in withdrawals. Wow. I didn't even think about that. What is Kratom again? Someone tell me. And then Mark, we were saying, what would he be on? So he probably wouldn't do hard drugs. He'd had gone all natural and vegan. That is true, right? So that's the only thing that gets me. Speed we have. So far, I think we have speed. Something that ramps up your energy, some kind of speed, meth. So heroin would be the opposite of. Bryan, I don't think he's doing heroin because heroin is a central nervous system depressant. So if anything, it would slow him down. I would say that he's on some form of stimulant, like a methamphetamine, if he is on something like a methamphetamine type thing, more so than anything else. So that could include meth, it could include cocaine, it could include Adderall, it could include anything, right? So, and keep that in mind, you guys, just because it's legal doesn't mean that somebody's not misusing it. So I had one friend that passed away from a fake oxycodone. And here, this is the friend that like swore, like she would be like, I'm not doing drugs. And she never did drugs, right? And she would never buy drugs. And she would like not look down on other people that did, but she just didn't see herself as a drug user because she was getting her script from the doctor. The problem is that after a while, she started eating her whole script in like 10 days. And then she would need like 20 days worth of medicine. So she was getting them in like, you know, you shouldn't get them anywhere, but she was getting them around here in Philadelphia or whatever. And eventually she just got fentanyl and she died. So I don't think he was doing a heroin type thing like that, because if anything, that would have made his central nervous system depress as opposed to speed up. If it comes to the only thing that's getting me here, you guys, is the fact that he went vegan and stuff. But then again, he also did a bunch of other things and then does something different. So I really shouldn't let that sway my thought process. But just before I put her on for one more second, I do agree that he was not going around thinking like, should I do this? Should I do this? He wanted to do that. I think he had the date on purpose. So I don't think it was a coincidence, the date. I don't think it was a coincidence that he was still 27, right? So I think there were a lot of things. I think he wanted to be the same age as Bundy. He wanted all of the same things as Bundy, the sorority house as Bundy. Like he wanted all of those same type of environment. And I think he wanted to beat Bundy's record. And now that I'm thinking about it, I just made a connection, I think, that I didn't make before. But if I remember, there were 4 people that I don't know if anybody knows for sure. There was either 4 people that were attacked in the Omega murders and 2 passed, or 4 passed and 6 were attacked. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think Kohberger, he kills 4, right? So for him, he either, in my head, ties or beats Bundy either way. And then when Donna said that she thinks about that it's not that he was tired, I also don't believe he was too tired to like hurt Dylan or Bethany. I think he was trying to beat a certain time so that he could be faster than and better. And again, I don't really mean better. I'm saying this sarcastically, better than Bundy.
That's your expectation. And do you remember that Steve G,
Thank you.
Kaylee's dad, at the beginning, he said that Bryan's...
Sorry for interrupting again. That makes so much sense. So if 4 were attacked and 2 passed, now he attacked 4 and he gets all 4. So in his head, it's like he didn't leave anyone to talk. I genuinely, in my opinion, what do you guys think in the chat? I want to see what you think while we watch another minute or so of this. What do you think in the chat? Do you think... There's a few things I kind of want to ask you guys. So answer anything from, what do you guys think about the whole Bundy angle? Like, do you guys think, like me, that he was trying to emulate Bundy? I definitely do. Have you guys seen the picture in his basement? It's so creepy. Did we figure out what park that was? So that was my one question. I don't want to have too many questions here, but I have so many questions for you guys. Do you guys think that he was nervous type thing? Or do you agree with, and again, you don't have to agree with me. I do not, know everything. This is just my opinion. But if he would have a personality disorder, he would not be fueled by anxiety. However, if he did have OCD, like the defense said, he would be fueled by anxiety. So I think there's a clear difference here. And I think that difference really speaks to whether somebody commits a crime like this or not.
Cell phone was so close to the Wi-Fi that their Wi-Fi picked it up. So expect to see these kind of things. Expect to see the FBI agent testifying about being able to know where Bryan was within 5 feet at any given moment. Just like they figured out about the fire pit by a cell phone ping, and about the tree 20 feet from the little creek, the little irrigation canal, 20 feet towards the pond. That's how they figured that out too, by the pond with one tree and the 2 children's bodies. So he testified that that's how they knew, and that they can tell within 5 feet. So we can expect that he's going to tell us where Bryan was within 5 feet for all this time, and for all the other 20 or however many times that Bryan tracked those girls. Murdered over 50 women, escaped twice, and done all this stuff. Well, yeah, Bryan wanted to emulate him for sure. Like, before I even did my first reading, the second I heard about this, I was getting Ted Bundy, Ted Bundy, Ted Bundy. Also shown that he idealized, or the way some people look at celebrities, he put all those celebrity serial killers on a pedestal, and he admired them, and he wanted to be like them. And so for me, that was big, but not as big as the pool party, of course, because the first known mention of the pool party is in my reading with Xana Kernodle. On January 3rd, 2023, I uploaded a reading that I had done for some friends of Xana Kernodle. In that reading, Kaylee Goncalves at some point pushed through, and for about 10 minutes was going on and on about a pool party. And I uploaded that reading. So then I was thinking overnight, it just kept coming into my mind, like how important this was to Kaylee. Like, she put her spirit hands on the sides of my face while she was like adamantly telling me about this pool party. And then I uploaded it on January 4th, 2023 as its own segment to make sure people would see that. And then 10 days later, about January 14th, Nancy Grace was in Moscow, Idaho, knocking on neighbors' doors of Bryan Kohberger, and found this neighbor who had taken Bryan Kohberger to a pool party. Kaylee was talking about what sounded like a drug transaction. And she was talking about the fire breathing. Now we know was into these fire batons and fire breathing, which he's done. He's also a career drug dealer who's 30 years old and lived in Pullman, probably burnt himself out with the police over there, so he moves over here to Party Row. Now, are we to suspect that he's done an about face in his life and that he has no interest in selling drugs anymore, even though he's been in prison for it and gotten busted at least 2, maybe 3 or more times? Could Bryan have met himself a drug connection at that party, whether it would be Emily Bailey and Demetrius or Einan Harsh, someone who's near, someone where he might have crossed paths with any of these people? Or was it simply that he went into town and went to the vegetarian restaurant in Moscow, which is where Maddie worked, and then maybe Kaylee was waiting outside for Maddie and he follows Kaylee? Could it be that? It could be that. I don't know the actual definitive answer, although I have not listened to
say something and Maddie's just gonna go. So I'm pulling her, but okay, but Kaylee probably has something to say because Kaylee is like in my face. Oh yeah, I got chills on my legs. Because you know what? First, Kaylee was like, okay, so she's like 2 feet away from me, but she's like front and center, like she's gonna say something and Maddie's just gonna go off in her room and let Kaylee deal with it. And then when I said, well, I'll try to focus on Maddie, so it's like I'll try to pull Maddie, and then Kaylee literally got in my face. So like Kaylee's like, no, I have something to say or whatever. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna totally clear my mind so she can do what she wants. And it might take me a minute because I want to make really sure that I get what she wants, because she seems like she wants pay attention. It's like, okay, she's almost like putting her fingers at the sides of my temples. like she's like, okay, pay attention, like that. I gotta really clear my mind. She's showing me giving someone money for some reason.
And just in case that, whether that was true or not, you guys, it was probably something like weed or something. Like, I don't think it was a big deal. And I don't know about you, but I would have done that too in college. So no judgment.
What?
But we don't even know that to be true. I'm just saying no judgment if it was.
Yeah, she's like, well, she's giving it to me, but it's obviously not really to me. It's someone else. But it's almost like she's like got some money folded over and she's like counting it. And then she's giving someone some money, like maybe $60 or something like that. I'm going to clear my mind every single thing she shows me so I make sure exactly what she's... Yeah. You know what that could be, and I'll say that I do know that she was that, but I mean I wasn't thinking of it right now.
I love when she has a conversation with herself.
So I just, because I like to make sure people know what I know outside of there, but I wasn't thinking of it. We'll just see. So I have some spirit energy, so we'll just wait and see what it is. That's not to have any preconceived like notions or whatever like that. Yeah, I don't know what it's for. Okay, but she'll get it through. I just have to not try to reach or guess or figure it out or whatever. It's like once you engage the front of your mind, then it's harder with the third eye to but so you already know, so anyone can kind of meditate and feel people. Well, I think you can, you know this, right?
So she's just letting us know. You have to remember she's on the phone with one of Kaylee's friends. So she's one of Xana and Maddie's friends. So when you hear her like talking right here, she's talking to the person on the phone. So she's letting the person know that any of us could meditate and reach a higher level, that part of this was practice for her getting to this point. So I think she was just verifying that or validating that for the friends.
That they really sometimes will give you signs, and it's okay to be aware of them and be comforted by them. Now Kaylee's showing me, it's like I feel like she's wearing a bathing suit, but and this feels, I don't know if this is separate from the money, but it's definitely a separate scene. Feels like there's like a big party. Feels like a big pool party.
How weird is that?
Like huge. Like someone would know about it. Because there's like a maybe it's when she went down to the spring break people or whatever. She's married to, I don't know, because she's kind of like posing in her bathing suit.
10 days later, Nancy Grace told everybody about the pool party.
I'm sitting there going to her, you really think that's so important? Like, you had this get in my face. It's like I always have these side conversations with these spirit people and stuff. It's like, okay. But she's saying, you know, hey, everybody, like, Xana this is what she wanted everyone to remember. Kaylee feels more intensely there's something about this. There's something here that's important. Yeah, I got chills on my legs. There's something here that's important to the whole situation. Yeah, and I got like strong chills. I would say very strong chills on my legs. There's something about...
And remember, she would have no idea that in 10 days and to the present that we would all be talking about this pool party that Bryan's neighbor took him to.
Something occurred here that I'm having a feeling of, but I'll let her, like, I'll tell you what I'm having a feeling of, like, it's almost, I'm dreading, like, are you serious? But I'm having a feeling of, but then I'll let her show us because I could be wrong. It's a feeling of somebody who was there there might be some connection of something or something that she wants known. So I don't know. And I wanted to assume it's this Bryan person. And I got chills on my leg, spirit energy. So it's not about him, but I'll just like warn you that there could be like some person peripheral related to the course of events that happened. And I don't even know if the person is guilty of doing anything like concrete, but there's yeah, and sometimes it's just a course of events or something like that. But okay, she gives me a sick feeling, so it's like she could be trying to tell me there's someone there. That would be weird if he was there too, huh? If it was just him.
How weird is that?
But I gotta clear my mind because it's like a certain person pops into my head and I'm trying to like go, no, clear, show me over. So I just want her to show me over about that. Because I don't want to be doing any wondering or anything like that.
This is Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina.
Oh, okay, hang on. Okay, let me see.
I knew.
And I'm like, is
That's
that
so funny, the dog.
Because I heard a whisper, and then I'm like, because sometimes you hear them from the spirit too. Sometimes you get like when you open up, it's kind of funny. Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I get it from her without trying to think. And I'm trying to clear it, but she's got really strong this whole pool party thing. And so
she wants to like make it known.
I'm trying not to resist her showing me that.
No, she's not scribbling. It's the dog.
It's a sick feeling. You know what? Probably some of the other girls that went down there with her might know. I think that would probably be true. They might know of some incident, and I do got chill on my legs about that. They might know of some incident that occurred that Kaylee was upset about, and You know, I don't know if it was her boyfriend. I don't know if it was another guy. I don't know who the guy is. But something happened there. And it really bothered Kaylee a lot. So I think the other young ladies who were there with her will know.
So real quick in chat, does anybody think that that's something we'll hear at trial? Like, do you think, like, Donna's like, and I don't know if you guys saw it. I think Daniel put up the pictures of Kaylee at the pool party. What was the name of the pool again? It was the Grove. Just so you guys know, as this is going on, I have in the back one last Google slide for when this is over or whatever. I mean, Google Trend. And I'm putting in those different names and stuff that you guys were saying.
And I got a big chill on my leg. Okay. And it feels like that person could be peripherally related to all this. All right. So I don't know what it is. I'll just, but they will know. You know, they'll hear this, they'll know. And probably they might want to tell the police. They might, because it would be something that they would have written off as totally, completely unrelated to all this. But it is related. It's related. I'm not the one to even judge, like, was this guy there? I don't have, I have a feeling it's like a different guy. But you know, if they say, if suddenly we hear in the news like, oh, he happened to be there, then that's what it is. But if it's, the friends will know. That's all I know. The friends will know. The friends who were there know that there's no way they could not know. And it's a big pull part. And keep your mind open to like which vacation, which place, even in Idaho, even anywhere, this big, you know, young people.
She's like hitting on us. Here, let me go a little bit further.
If it was at the beach, say if they went to Cabo and there's a beach there or whatever, this happened at the pool. And Kaylee was really bothered by it. So she definitely would have told her friends. And I have the spirit energy about that. Kaylee, something happened. Okay, she's trying to tell me more stuff, so I'll just let it clear in. But these girls, oh yeah, I got chills about that. These girls, make sure they hear, or they'll hear, or just share it to whoever.
It's crazy,
you
right?
think might be her friends. Yeah, that's it. I got chills on my legs. This event is related to the course of events, so it's super, super, super important information, and they don't even probably know that it's important. Okay, so share this to them after I put it, like it'll be up on there tomorrow or whatever. And Kaylee's getting the energy is dark. I think she'll tell me after, like, that's probably whatever she is and tell me, like, she's like, it's some dark energy, not her being dark, but the energy that she's, so it's like, she's showing me either she's so mad that she feels like she'll be yelling to have fire come out of her mouth, or she's showing me somebody who can make fire come out of her mouth.
Harsh.
Like, you know how those people put that stuff in their mouth and then they...
The first reading, I didn't even know there was anything. I was unconscious. I was literally unconscious when I did that. 4 days later, when my dog was in the middle of having puppies, I listened to it.
There you go. The dog was about to have
puppies. To see if anything's on there, and I was just shocked.
I don't know about you, but when I was about to give birth, I probably sounded like that too.
And that's why I'm like, I go on with this real quick intro with, I look like crap, and I'm just like, this got to get out there. Because one, I'm saying his description, I'm saying he's a serial killer, et cetera, and I'm just like, I gotta put this information out there. Hopefully it gets the right sources. I uploaded it, and I called the tip line. I talked to the lady. She was very professional, very nice. I gave her my name. She wanted a link to it, etc. And I'm going to just give you a heads up. I have several clues about that knife in these subsequent readings, but I'm trying to let the story fold out, and I'm trying to get to putting those up. So stay tuned. If I fast forward a few months to a year.
Okay, so that pretty much is the Donna Serafina one. So what did you guys think about that? So one of the things that I just wanted to highlight, oh, Texas, you're still here. I'd never listened to this lady. Hem who's she's doing. So this is the thing, Texas. I don't know if you're even into like, I don't know. I didn't even think that you would even be into like thinking about that at all. But she is a reverend, and she claims to be like a Jesus believer, and not claims to. I think she really does. Like, and I think other people. I think because there's so many people in here that are vouching for her as well. I think that that's important. I just found the one, you guys. I found the one about the cranberry thing. Hold, it's not long. It's a short. Let me just show you real quick. Crazy. And then I'm going to look this up. Very cool. Oh,
It's like a state park. Cranberry Creek is a tributary off that, and it's not far from Johnson, Idaho, where that.
Lucy, neither did I. And I still to this day don't believe in psychics, but there's something about Donna, and even the FBI has like tested her abilities. And if you go back and like look at some of her lives, or not lives, some of her videos, I mean, you'll get like, she tells you throughout how this all like occurred and stuff, and about the, I don't know, if you go listen to the things, it's like hard not to believe that this one person on earth has this gift. It's the weirdest thing. There's like no way it could be coincidental. It could be, but in my opinion,
that would have been the last cell tower that he pinged if it was Johnson, Idaho. If you believe that law enforcement at one of their press conferences absolutely confirmed that it's Johnson, Washington, and not Johnson, Idaho, as said in the PCA. Tell me where. In May of 2024, I was meditating. At the end of the meditation, I woke up and I'm like, Cranberry Creek? I never heard of such a place. I doubt one exists. And it was near Orofino, Idaho, which just happens to be near Johnson, Idaho. Now, I know the court TV reporter said, we went to Johnson, Idaho, but there was nothing there but trees. So we don't believe it's there. We believe it's Johnson, Washington. My question to you, the listener, is did you ever hear the police confirm that it was Johnson, Washington, not Johnson, Idaho, as stated in the PCA? And did all media then follow this lead that it must be Johnson, Washington? Question mark. If you believe, and don't say the press conference, tell me this timestamp, because I have never seen law enforcement come out and correct that court TV reporter. She says, oh, there was a bunch of trees, so what would be out there? Well, what would be out there is a hunting cabin and a knife. And I'm not, again, that's not psychic, it's just logic. Right near Johnson, Idaho is a place called Orofino, and a person who really helped when we were working on the Lori Vello case happens to live in Orofino. So I asked her, have you ever heard of a place called Cranberry Creek? And she says, oh, yes, I've heard of Cranberry Creek. And then I'm like, wow, a place I never heard of came up in my reading as to where the possible location of this knife and or where the killer may have went and put this knife. Cranberry Creek, but then I was getting muffin top. They were showing me from that place, I could see kind of like a mountain that kind of like curved. And I don't know, that it wasn't called Muffin Top because I don't think there is one called Muffin. Is there a trail called Muffin Top? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. I haven't been able to find this Muffin Top, so it might just be a description of something right around there to help, okay? And I should put forth that when I did see the knife buried, it didn't seem all that far from what I perceived to be a hunting cabin. What if it was a bathroom? I don't know. But I, again, don't want to make the claim. Right now, I have found at least a dozen readings that I didn't even know I made. And I'm printing out the transcripts, and I haven't even listened to them all, and I haven't even read all the transcripts. And so I'm sure I'll find more. There are clues, and I am going to start putting them because we only have a couple months till trial for people who want to look. So again, if the knife turns out to be in Wawa Park, you know, as homage, so the different places, it's not that I'm wrong. I'm not trying to tell, there's certain things I'll die on that hill, like the order of death. I know they have the order of death wrong if that Dateline special is right. I know he went in Ethan and Zauner's room first. I was connected to his brain. I witnessed the entire thing in 3D. I was out of my body with no body awareness, and I was there, okay? So that's something I'll live and die on. The Cranberry Creek, I haven't even heard my own reading. I don't even know where it is. Hopefully I'll find it because the entire hour-long reading was about that night. Please join my group on Facebook if you, and so we can discuss this. You can also email me, Reverend Donna Serafina at gmail.com. There's actually two clusters of bread things. One is about him coming out of one of the sandwich shops following Kaylee, and then the other is about the family bread factory. So it's two separate, totally separate visions using bread. They're totally completely different. One is the Kohberger breads, and the other one is him coming out of. And you notice in the court papers, they did obtain the surveillance footage for the Moscow bagel. But if you look at Friendship Square, there's a few little bread places right on the square. He may have left the knife at Cranberry Creek. Now, I would like to look, because it doesn't look like, you know, an easy place to get to as far as if there's ice on the ground or snow. He would have went there in the middle of the day. So what he would have done is he would have left the 1122. He would have driven away. He would have pulled in where that grain bin is by the farm. I don't know if he got rid of his bag of clothes and shoes, etc., by throwing them in a dumpster somewhere. Besides that, I might find it in these readings. Not sure. But I did see him pull into a farm where there was a grain bin. That was probably perfect for him to be able to recognize it. And I'm guessing, that's a guess, not a psychic thing, that he may have put his knife there and then went back and got it the next day. If it was the Idaho, Orofino's right next to it, and so is Cranberry Creek. And if he went there and turned off his cell phone for 3 hours, he had plenty of time. It's a 40-minute drive go there from Lewiston, but it's right at the freeway that you would take. It all does fit. The gravel road goes right over Cranberry Creek at some point. So you could drive right up there and see what's up.
Can somebody put what creek that is, or what did that say? I couldn't catch it. Something reservoir or something?
Up there. And there's a limit to what I can see from Google or anybody that lives around there, and you can go up there and take some pictures and send them to me. Again, it's Reverend Donna Serafina at gmail.com. It'd be good to rule it out. It'd be good to take a look up there. Again, I'm not making a psychic claim. I'm just telling you my experience, my meditation, and the only thing I remembered after I woke up. Now, what's interesting is I took the readings that I had already put online before I realized these were here, and I put them in Grok, which is an AI machine. And I asked him to evaluate my readings, and based on the fact that I'm saying I saw him do this ceremonial burial of this knife like it was a trophy, then where might he think that they were? And he picked Devil's Canyon just because of the name. And then there's like these little mountain peaks and trails called like She Devil. And he thought, oh, he might be attracted by that. But then also Wai Park, where he tried to pretend he was stargazing, but it was so foggy nobody would have been able to see stars that night. So that kind of falls flat. But his hero, Ted Bundy, allegedly left the remains of one of his victims in that canyon, Wai Park. And you're gonna notice, actually, through all of this, he's paying homage through his crimes and his statements to police at the very beginning. He's paying, and even the Apple, he's paying homage to his serial killers. Like I've told you before, Bryan
I
felt
said that
like
too, right?
all serial killers were celebrities, right?
Oh my God,
Ted Bundy is the king of serial killers. But he felt like they were all celebrities. And somebody sent me this Cranberry Creek thing. Again, it would have massive amounts of evidence, most likely, because although he rinsed it, I saw him in the kitchen sink. He rinsed his hands. I can't remember if I said he rinsed his knife. But before he buried it, whatever blood was on there, he wanted it on there. He wanted it on there. So he didn't clean it off and then bury it. He buried it like it was. And as you hear at the other cabin, I saw him licking his knife. And I think I saw that at the house too. Like, he's pretty gross. I could see why he's a vegan, because he's so into this blood. He probably felt like it would make him out of control, because it is. I also saw in one of them that where he cut himself is right here. So did he go to the doctor and just kind of keep his hand like that?
Oh my God, do you guys remember the picture? It looked like he cut himself there.
Look in that thumbs up picture though. Look right here and see if you can see anything. I don't know which hand. I'm going now. I'm getting real serious. Last night I printed out a bunch of these transcripts and I could barely get myself to go to bed. Like, I was so interested in reading them. And I woke up and I thought, you know what? I need to put the information out and just hope that Monday. And my feeling about it is, if he was found not guilty on some kind of technicality, my feeling is that it wouldn't be all that long before he went on a cross-country spree, just kind of a free-for-all to see how many he could kill before he got caught. He does not have feelings and emotions like regular people. He had no fear when he went into that house, none whatsoever. Howard Bloom was incorrect. He says on the Dateline special, I think him driving.
I already said this part, so I'll just go a little bit further, but she's going to say the same thing pretty much that I said.
100% of him had no fear about it whatsoever. He was fully prepared when he did that. He was just waiting for probably the lights be out, the DoorDash driver, that kind of thing. Okay, so he goes in there and he does this without mercy. And not only without mercy, but he woke up Maddie so that she would be looking him in the eye when he did this to her. He's pure evil, in my opinion. He is pure evil. Like, you guys have no idea how evil this guy is. And when he left, he was celebrating. And, at the house, remember I said he wanted to go kill the other two. He wanted to. Okay? He wanted to kill the other two people.
What do you guys think about this?
And when he left, I have one, when he left, he was yelling and shouting and all happy. When he was driving down the highway, he was doing the Yahoo! Yelling it out. Yahoo! Woo-hoo! There was zero about him that regretted what he had just done. Zero. Okay? So if there's ever any plea deal and he pretends he's sorry, he's not. He's not sorry. He may be sorry that he got caught, but he's not sorry. We're gonna see if I can find enough details to figure out exactly where the knife is. So anyways, we're gonna look at Johnson, Idaho. We're gonna look at Cranberry Creek, and I'm gonna keep working on these transcripts. I hope you guys have a nice day, and just pray that this serial killer, Bryan Kohberger, gets convicted.
Yeah, right. Amen to that. Okay, so let me stop that. So we're done with the videos. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I have two different screens up back here. So I have one up of, I started doing searches and I didn't have enough room. So I did two different ones. No, sorry, hold on. I don't know what that was. All right, hold on. Let me share this. So we'll look up this one first. So there's like a list of terms that she was discussing. Add to stage. I'll make it bigger. Okay. So it's Ted Bundy, Friendship Park, Wawa Wawi. Oh yeah, I did put the whole thing. County Park, Linda Healy. Oh, I put in Papa Roger Kohberger to show you guys that haven't been on before. Where it comes in, but I don't even think it comes in over here. At least not in the United States. So right now we're in the United States. So Ted Bundy is looked up in July. So there's a little bit of a spike. We know that the pool party was July 9th. How weird is that? So there's a spike on Bundy on July 9th. And then let's just keep going. You still see spikes. Friendship Park is being looked up. So somebody's looking up Friendship Park, you guys. And that's where she thinks that he ran into Kaylee. I don't know if you guys remember, but do you remember she was saying that when, again, this is alleged, when he's talking to Kaylee, that Kaylee is suspicious of him because she doesn't think that he looks like a student. But think about it, right? At that point, how would Donna know? She said he's about 30. How would she know that he was a student, but that Kaylee would have questioned it because he did look older? And when she means older, she even says 30. So it's like, to her, that was older, right? You guys look, so October 6th, we have a huge spike on Ted Bundy and another spike on Friendship Park. Again, all the way leading up to, look, we keep going all the way to the end of October. You know what I found funny? That on no holidays is he, or anybody really, doing a lot of research. So I noticed that no matter what searches we did, the ones that we did tonight or the other weeks, that when it came to like October 31st and like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and stuff, that there was like hardly no searches. So let's look leading up to the murders. So the 13th, there was 6 for Ted Bundy and none for anybody else. Then it goes, you see that less than 0.5% on the 18th. And again, this is all just the ledger. We're just looking it up. Then we have the 11th, but again, look, so I'm glad that they show this. So on like the 30th and the 31st, I don't know if you guys take notice, but it goes up a little bit. That could be maybe because he was caught then, who knows? But just in case, I'm going to look up Washington because that was just the United States. And then we'll get to the other search. Okay, wow, look at this, you guys. So over here, this is for Ted Bundy. This is just in Washington. This is from July 1st to December 31st. So over here, we have all of these. Now, this is what I would be interested in. Well, number one, what's October 6th? Somebody needs to write down the 5th and the 6th. Something happens on the 5th and the 6th. I don't know if anybody knows, but I get those hits all the time for like all of this like weird stuff. Then we have, it looks like pretty much every day we have a yellow. What's yellow? On November 7th, you guys, somebody in Washington was looking up the Wawa Wawi thing. But again, we can't assume. But how weird is this? So we have all these hits for Bundy, and then we have this hit, and then we have nothing. That's so weird to me. That's like sus to me, just as a female. So forget as a researcher, as a female, I don't know if any other females out there know what I'm talking about. Even over here, you guys look, July 22nd, he was looking up Linda Healy. And it's at the exact same thing as Ted Bundy. So he must have been looking them up and like, or somebody was looking them up in conjunction to each other. And then we have a spike again, August 29th. Okay. And somebody, again, it's the same, 16 and 17. So it's about the same strength. And then we get it again over here, but this time with Wawa Wawi County Park. And then look, you guys, nothing for the days of the murder. How convenient is that? So the next one isn't until the 14th. So the last thing that was looked up was on the 7th. Does anybody remember when he stops using his phone? I remember that they said he stopped using it. Oh, look at that. And then on the 30th, we have another spike. I guess people were getting interested. That's the day he got arrested. So let's just look over here real quick. This is the Ted Bundy one in Washington. Let's just see if there's a city. Okay, so over here, look, we always go over here with this around this lake. So Pullman. So we have Pullman. Oh, you guys, look at this. So between July 1st of 22 and 12/31/22, we have a hit on Wawawawi County Park and Ted Bundy. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. So then let's look over here real quick. We're going to put it in city. And look, we have you guys, that Cannon Creek. You guys, this is crazy. She said Cannon Creek. This is where that lake is that we keep kidding. Is anybody else dying right now? And then look, there's Pullman again. You guys, this is huge. Two of the biggest places. And then look over here. Remember, rising is like potential. It doesn't really mean anything. You want to go to top. That's what is. Okay. So we have over here Jeffrey Dahmer. And we could expect that because that's when they were looking up then serial killers. And then the Ted Bundy movie. And then the Green River Killer. Oh, that's crazy. And then Ted Bundy, Zac Efron, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy victims. Ted Bundy victims, you guys. Somebody then looked up Linda Healy in Wawawawi Park. And then somebody looked up his death. Oh my God. And then they looked up where he was, the electric chair. Oh my God, that's crazy. Washington State. Ted Bundy, Tacoma, Green River Killer. Oh, that's crazy. Ted Bundy's daughter. Ted Bundy, Zodiac, and Gary Ridgway. You guys, that's crazy. So I think that it's important to note right here. So if I post anything later, I'm going to post a picture of this. So Jordan Canyon Creek and then Pullman, Washington, both hit here. And then Friendship Park real quick. Let's do the city. Spokane. So we have a big hit on Spokane. Okay, that was all we had a hit on. And then this one is for Wawa. Oh, if that's Pullman. It is. Okay. Let me do I love when I get at least one of these. That's my drum roll. It is my opinion as of 6/2/25 at 11:29 p.m. that I believe that there is a strong correlation between Bryan Kohberger and Pullman, Washington, and hits on Wawawawi County Park and things like Ted Bundy, and then and these search interests. We also did see some of these things on Dateline, so I'm not claiming that I came up with this. I'm just saying that that's crazy. I just want to look real quick and see in Pennsylvania, because he then goes to Pennsylvania. And then just quickly, let's just see if we get a hit on anything. We do. So we have, what was red? Red is Friendship Park. Somebody was looking up Friendship Park on the 8th, July 8th. And the party was on July 9th. So somebody was looking up Ted Bundy. When's this big spike? We have a big October 6th again, you guys. Or is it just because I'm looking up the same thing? And then October 10th. And then we have a purple over here. What's purple? Papa Roger Kohberger, you guys. What are the chances? Who's looking up Papa Roger Kohberger? However, it's in November. I don't know. It's Pennsylvania. Let's see. Maybe there is a correlation. Oh my gosh, here we go. I'm like, where did it go? City. All right, so this is going to be for, oh, we already did Ted Bundy. Oh, this is Ted Bundy as far as in Pennsylvania. And remember that I have on here from July. We know that he's not there in July, so just for Pennsylvania real quick. Oh, no, I'll just leave it for now. You could always go back and make it even smaller so that you could see. So let's just keep going. With Friendship Park over here, we're going to look at the city to see. So we have Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I love when it includes Philadelphia. But so if somebody's watching, we're including low search volume areas because there's some rural areas, but over here, we don't see anything, okay? And then the Wawawawi Park. So over here, we don't get a big hit for anything. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to share the last one. We're almost at the end. All right, share. And let me just add it to the stage. If anybody's talking to me right now, I do apologize. Okay, so this is for the United States as a whole, okay? So for this one, I looked up Lewiston, Idaho, Friendship Square Park, Orofino, Idaho as a search term, Devil's Canyon, and Johnson, Idaho as a search term. So let's see what we got. So right now we're just in the United States in 2022. We're just seeing if there's any trends. So Devil's Canyon is a trend here. So is Lewiston, Idaho. And again, we're just in the United States. So this is just general interest. We're just looking to see if there's any like dates or anything. Again, like that October 6th, but I don't see it. So on the 13th through the 19th, we have a hit on Johnson, Idaho, Devil's Canyon, and Lewiston, Idaho. And they were all places Donna said to look. Again, we have Devil's Canyon. And now we're going out to December. So I do think it's important to note that here on December 18th, we also have a Lewiston, Idaho, but we have a Devil's Canyon. It's not as big, it dips down, but we still do have a hit there. So there is still somebody looking it up. Same thing with Johnson, Idaho. So just be wary of that. And then over here, not be weary, be cautious that you're not thinking it's like the be all end all. So now this is a little bit crazy. So over here, we're looking at the United States, right? So we're not in Washington. We're just in the United States. And when we look in the United States, these are the areas that we have the most interest. So let's see what's going on here. So this is just places around. I would say that this could be travelers that are like looking, you know, for state parks and stuff to camp in. So don't get too like crazy with that. And again, I would say that it's around that region because that's where it's located. And then same thing with this one. I'm not even going to look that much into it. If anything, I would look more at what the top searches were around it. So the weather. So there you go. That lets me see. I'm going to do the same for this one too, real quick. Oh, it's already done. So I was going to say, because that like just shows right here that what I was saying is probably right. So it's probably like campground stuff. And then over here, Friendship Square Park, there's no hit. And then Orofino, Idaho, that's the same thing. We're going to get a hit there. All right, this one is one that I'm more interested in. This one is, what was green? Devil's Canyon. Oh, look at that. See, so I'm glad that we have this because then we could look and see that it's not, that's not what we're probably looking for. Okay, and it shows you that over here. And just to be sure, we're going to look at top for the queries. So Devil's Tower, Devil's Canyon Trail. Let me open that in another tab just to see if we get anything. And then these are the top things. Oh, you guys, remember she said like Devil's Canyon and stuff like that because of the name? Where's Devil's Lake? I'm going to search it in a different tab and I'll get back to it. Okay, this one was Johnson, Idaho. Again, it's the same thing, but look at this. This is crazy. So, oh, that is so weird. So the thing here is Johnson, Idaho, and the rising thing for that. And again, remember I said rising is like potential. It's not real. Well, it's not that it's not real, but it's like I'd rather, you know, I don't know. I always feel like that's going to come with something afterwards. Like, I don't know. They're not that, I don't know. Anyway, let me just move on before I get myself in trouble. But over here, if you guys see the number 3 search thing, that's actually crazy for me, is Idaho murders. So there's enough that there's a trend for Johnson, Idaho, and Idaho murders. So somebody make like a note of that. That's something I would want to look up at another time. Yeah, that's crazy, you guys. And then Moscow, Idaho, but that's crazy. So these are of the top 25. And look, Idaho News. So it must be something that people were talking about at some point. I do want to come over here. So this was in the United States. I just want to see if we switch it just like I did to the other one. And I'm going to X out the other one so I don't even get tempted to go back. Oh, we got a hit on that Devil's Canyon Trail. And on the Devil's Lake. Oh, wait till I show you that in a second. Hold on. All right, let me just. Okay, so let's do Washington. And look, in Washington, we have big hits for the Lewiston, Idaho. So people in Washington were looking up Idaho, which I guess would be normal, right? Because it's kind of like I live in Pennsylvania, but I work in Jersey. It's the same thing. It's all the same. All right, look, November 13th to the 19th, we have Johnson, Idaho. You guys, I think that if you live in Idaho and you live near Johnson, Idaho, that you should make like a Facebook group and you should all go looking, because I don't think that what are the chances? And in the top searches, it was the same thing again. That's so weird. This is specifically on November 27th too, or this goes up to November 27th, I say. All right, then over here, this one was for Lewiston, Idaho. And again, you would expect to see this, but in Washington, I don't know. Look, we have Pullman at 100%. And then here we go again, Lake Forest Park, you guys. You guys, Lake Forest Park. So if you're in that group that I said that you should have, if you live out there, you guys should add that to it as well. It's just a little, I don't know. My spidey sense tells me. Okay, there's a lot of Spokane Valley too, but I would expect that, I guess, right? Because it's a bigger city. But we do have Pullman. So let me keep going. So over here, let's keep going. All right, the Orofino one. I don't know why I even put this one in, but Miss Donna was saying about things. All right, let's see this one, Devil's Canyon. Okay, this one was crazy. So by city. Oh, okay, so we don't get anything by city here. But by metro, we get Spokane, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Tacoma, and they're all the big areas. And then the Johnson, Idaho. I don't think there's anything that big here. But let me just show you this real quick. This is crazy. So then I clicked on the two things and I said I would show you guys. So let me show you this real quick. So right here we have a hit for Devil's Canyon Trail. So I put in Devil's Canyon at first, but it's called Devil's Canyon Trail. So now it's different, right? So we're in the United States. So there's many people searching it in the United States. This is over, from July to, or no, wait, what? Yeah, this is 2022. So this is all of 2022. But you know what I do find interesting? After October 16th to the 22nd, there is no more. Like, look, it just goes flat. See, that's the stuff that makes it interesting to me. So let's look at cities and see if we have cities. And let's even put in, include low search volume. So over here, this is saying, no, I'm not interested in any of that. I'm just seeing if any of these are of interest, but I don't think they are. I could be wrong. I don't know what Devil Bridge Trail is or where that's at. Okay, but real quick, we're going to go over to Washington. And we're going to see if anybody in Washington or how people in Washington were searching this. Look, we didn't get anything, you guys. So we get nothing. So I think that that's important. So, right, so people are going to probably look for it. But let's look at Idaho. And again, you would probably see it more there. And we're just doing this to show you that, oh, look, there's not much there either. That's crazy. So then Devil's Bridge. Hey, let me get rid of this one. Hold on. I'm going to show you this one. Let me stop that screen. Let me get rid of that one so I don't get confused. All right. There's Devil Bridge Lake and Trail. Where are they? All right. That one we don't want. I'm just seeing if we want them before I go to them. This one we might want. And this one, I don't know. No, I don't think so. So this one we're going to get rid of. So there's one more for me to show you guys. And then I will go back and look at the chat after we hang up. That way I could go back and answer any questions or anything. Unless there's anything right now. So if there was anything in the chat that you guys were putting in there that I haven't seen, but that you want me to see before we hang up, just rewrite it real quick so that I could see it before we hang up. That way, if it's anything that you wanted me to look at or whatever. But you guys, I think this was, I don't really see anything here that that's like really that big. Let me just do Washington. But other than that, I think we've looked at it all. I'm going to have to figure out other things. I think that was cool that we looked at Donna's thing. I think it's cool. You guys, look again. It's around that lake. That's crazy to me. That can't be a coincidence. Okay. All right. So let me stop that. Oh, I never added it to the screen. You guys didn't miss anything. So Ted Bundy. Hi, Drunk Turkey Show. Drunk Turkey, where have you been the past couple? I know your daughter graduated, so congratulations. But I was like, I feel like I missed everybody. I need to get on Discord. I joined it finally, but I try to stay away from it sometimes because I don't know. Hopefully your channel doesn't have drama in Discord. I don't think you guys would. Your channel's really good like that, but I don't know. Let's look up Joyce LePage one time before I hang up. Joyce. Okay, let's see. And then if I get anything, I'll put it up. I don't see Joyce LePage here. Let me do United States. And I know that you guys can't see it right now. I'm going to put it up if I get anything. I didn't get anything right here. So I'll have to look. I'll play around with it later or whatever. Look up Bundy and Joyce LePage. I did look that up. I'm just making sure I wrote it right. I think so. L-E. See, I did spell it wrong. I'm glad I looked. And then I'll put you guys on if something comes up. Somebody in Texas. Drunk Turkey, what are you doing, Daniel? Over there in Texas. Well, if anything, if you were looking it up, you'd just be doing your homework. So there you go. Just like I guess Pro-Burgers would say about Kohberger that he was probably doing his homework. So I do want people to keep that in mind too. Yes, Drunk Turkey has the best Discord. I agree with you. No drama on the Drunk Turkey Discord, you promise? Because if not, I definitely will engage. I started to engage and then I started having flashbacks of a bad time in Discord. I've looked it up a lot, but did not before the Idaho murders. Oh, I was just messing with you, calling you a serial killer. I was just kidding. Her name might be misspelled. You're right. So it's funny you say that because I sometimes do the same thing. And so you're right. Let me look at it this way real quick and see. Oh my God, stop it. Wait, who said that? Lucy. How come Lucy, you guys, Lucy is like a gem. Lucy, every time we have a crazy hit, you're behind it. So wait, ready for this one? We got a hit. All right, let me share it to the stage. All right, Lucy. So I looked up Joyce LePage and I put in different variations of her name and we got a hit on June 5th to the 11th at 77%. And then look at this one. We get another hit from December 25th to the 31st. But wait, when do we have the dates in for it? We're in Washington. Let's go out to the United States and see. So no, you guys, that makes it that much more interesting. So look, when I put it out to the United States, we have no hits for Joyce LePage, right? But when we go to Washington, where Bryan is, we do have a variation of her name hitting. I wonder if we go to Pennsylvania, because he could have been looking it up there too. Okay, so no hits on Pennsylvania. And let's try Idaho because God only knows how much time he spent there. No, I'm glad that I did that because look, we get no hit for that either. So that just makes me feel like it's even more, the probability is even higher that it had something to do with Kohberger or it happened around Washington. So if I go down here real quick to the red, there's not enough information. So that's interesting to me too, you guys. So there's not enough information for Joyce LePage to give an exact location in Washington, but that would probably make it even more a probability because if there were that many people searching it, we would have saw a specific range. Let me see if there's any other variations here. Actually, before I do that, let me just see real quick. I'm going to bring it down to 20. Oh, wait, there we go. I'm going to change the date real quick, if it lets me. Here we go. All right, let me go out further. It's like making me, oh, here we go. Now it should try it. I know it looks far away. I'll change it back. It looks so far away to me now. All right, let's do 11, or no, let's do 7, 7, 1, 22, to 11, 13. We'll do it to the day of. All right, let's see. No, we don't have a hit there. So it didn't happen around that time, at least here, or let me pull it out to the United States. I don't think so. No, but we do have the hits for Devil Bridge Trail in August for 2 different times. But yeah, that's what I got there. Is there anything else I should look up? You do have the best mods. You guys have the best everything over there. Drunk Turkey, I think I might be ready soon to have you on my show. I'm starting to get I'm getting there. You guys, I only need like a little bit less than 200 more hours before I'm like a real channel, I guess. But I don't know. No, I'm good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to hit my goals. But Drunk Turkey, we do have to do another live together. I miss your whole crew. Or you need to do some live so I can go chat in your chat. I'll be happy with that. So here we go. I'm going to pull out to the center here. So it's been 2 hours. I can't believe it. You guys, when I'm on here with you, I feel like time goes by so quick. You're going to have to force yourself on your channel before I get on. I feel that. That's funny. You did? I didn't see it. I'll look after. Oh, look at that. So our brains were on the same page. Oh, Daniel, you must have missed the psychic part. I'll tell you about it after. You guys, Daniel missed the psychic part. We have our psychic here now, Daniel. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end the live and I'm going to go check my messages and go to bed because I have work tomorrow morning. And then I will maybe talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay? Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. And I will see you over in Discord. Okay? Yes, Lucy, thank you. I know. I'm so excited. You guys are the best. I love this group. And I love the Drunk Turkey group. You guys have all been so nice to me. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this so that I can continue to bring you content. Thank you so much.